Okay, so let's go and create 12 by 15 inches document, and then the resolution we are going to set it to 300. So change it from 72 to 300, and let's go and click create. Let's grab a solid color from here, and then you can pick the color code from the screen or something closer to white, almost white, but in the blue wavelength. Okay, so let's go and bring this background. I really love this background, so let me increase it to fill the whole canvas. Okay, now I'll go ahead and add a layer mask on this layer. So I'll grab the brush and then make sure I have foreground black. Okay, and then I'll increase the flow and then start brushing. I'll just be removing the middle portion of it. Okay, if it's too harsh, you just go ahead and lower the flow. So just play with the flow and then you're good to go. So for the first one, you just brush and make it lighter, and then you duplicate this layer, background layer, using Ctrl J or Command J. All right, so select the layer, and then let's go to filter and then noise, and let's add noise. Now let's set it to around 80% and then click OK. Now press Ctrl or Command L on the keyboard for the levels adjustment panel, and then for the dark areas or the darker parts of the image, you are going to set it to 102, and then the midtones you're going to set it to 1.23, and the highlight 165. We click OK. All right, so you have this. Now let's go and change the blend mode to overlay. Then after that, you can use Ctrl Z and Shift Ctrl Z to alter the before and after. Good. Now I'll go into my images folder and then bring the first image right here, link in the description, but please make sure you watch this video to the end before you click the link to leave YouTube. All right, so I'm going to leave this one here almost in the middle, and I'll add black and white adjustment layer. So I'll just select black and white. We are going to alter only the reds and the yellows. So the reds -130, and then the yellows plus or +125, and then we leave the rest. Okay, so let's, with the layer mask selected, let's go and grab the brush tool and then make sure we have foreground black. Okay, so we are just going to clean the black and white on the forehead, the nose, and the lips. Okay, that's the area that we want the original color to pop. So select both the black and white layer and then the image layer, and then you can press Ctrl or Command G to group them, or after selecting, you just come and click on this icon to group them together. Then after group, you just add the layer mask on top of that, and then let's grab the brush and let's clean some areas very quickly. So always make sure, if you want to clean, you have the foreground black. If you want to bring out some pixels on clean, just use foreground white. So just do as I'm doing right here. Now let's go for the elliptical marquee tool. That's the second group on the tools panel. Select the elliptical marquee tool, then you drag to make an ellipse like this, and I'll go to select and then transform selection right here, and then you just rotate and bring it somewhere here. Okay, so now doing this will only restrict me to the pixels within the selection, so I can only clean the pixels in the selection. So I'll go ahead and do that very quickly. Then after that, you just press Ctrl D to deselect the selection. Now with the mask still selected, we are going to clean more pixels out of this image. Okay, we are not deleting or erasing it, but we are just cleaning, hiding them for the meantime. If you want to bring them back, we can by using the foreground white. So if you're watching and you haven't subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to support this channel. We can also get to 100k subscribers if you subscribe to support this channel. Thank you. So let's go and add color balance adjustment layer right here. Make sure you clip it to the layer below. Let's shift the yellows to blues by adding plus or +68. Now just go into my images folder and then drag in another image, which is this guy. All right, so I'll resize that, and then now I'll leave it here, and then go and right click on the layer and then rasterize the layer. then go to image adjustments, and then down here we have desaturate. Okay, so I'll just use that to make it black and white. Now let's right click on the image again, and then this time let's pick create clipping mask to put it inside the big image. Now grab the brush tool, and then let's go and add layer mask on top of this layer, and let's soften the edges or the bottom of this image, okay, so that we blend it. So let's brush over these areas, but make sure you don't hide the name Mbappe. All right, and then let's come and blend the back of the head. Okay, so not too much, just slight one. All right, so you're good. Now if I zoom out, you can see that the back of the head I hid too much, so I will just go and then switch the foreground color from black to white using the brush tool. Okay, so let me switch it to white, and then I can just bring out some pixels that I hid so much but I didn't want to. Okay, so let me go back into my images folder and then bring this image to, I'll drag that. Now let me place it somewhere here, and then after that I will just go and right click on the layer and then clip it into the bigger image. So choose create clipping mask, and then let's go and right click again, and this time rasterize the layer, and let's use the shortcut shift control plus U to turn it into black and white or desaturate this image. Let's add the layer mask, grab the brush foreground black, and then let's hide these areas. And also, as we are brushing, if you want to learn Photoshop with me, check in the description for the link to my WhatsApp group for my masterclass currently ongoing. So make sure you join, register, and then we set the ball rolling. All right, so we are good over here. So let's go into the images folder, and then let's bring this image of a stadium. Let's place it on top, and the same process, you're going to desaturate using the shortcut shift control U on the keyboard. We just go ahead, rasterize the layer, and then we just clip it into the bigger image. And then for now I've just used the desaturation shortcut to make it black and white. So I'm just going to add a layer mask, and then I will clean the unnecessary portion of this image, which is the edges, the sharp edges. Okay, so let's make sure we don't have any sharp edges. So I'm going to clean this guy and review those hidden heads. Okay, so after that you're going to duplicate this image by dragging its layer into the plus icon here. So that's okay, and if you select the head at the top, the one that he is screaming, if you select it and then you come and toggle its visibility, you can see that some of parts of the image is showing up on the cheeks of the image at the bottom. Okay, somewhere here. So let's select the mask, and then let's use foreground black, and then clean those parts of that image over there very quickly. Then after that, let's duplicate the head. All right, so it unclips the top one, so let's move this guy to the very top first, and then let's right click and then clip these guys back into the bigger image. So you just right click and then you select create clipping mask. Now you have everything back, but the head at the top, we are not going to clip it. You can clip, but we are not. So let's select the mask, and then those protruding parts of the image, let's clean it with the foreground black and brush. And also we need some part of the neck showing, so let's switch it from black to white, and let's show some part of the neck. This is why it's important to use mask instead of erasing. Okay, if we chose to erase, we wouldn't have had any space for bringing those necks back. Good. Now let's select the image at the bottom, press Ctrl L on the keyboard for the levels, and then let's tweak the shadows, the midtones, and the highlights. So I'll drag the shadows to the right a little, the midtones to the left a little, and then click OK. After that, select the top head and then Ctrl L for the levels, and then you just do the same thing as we did. Okay, now we are going to add color balance on top of everything. So let's go and select color balance, and then let's shift the yellows to the blues plus 68, and then select the mask, grab your brush, foreground black, and let's dab on the color. Okay, the color balance, let's dab on. Don't clean everything, we just want to lower the opacity of it, but we want the opacity to be 100 at certain portions. That's why we don't want to clean or brush to clean everything. We are just dabbing on them. As you can see, I'm just clicking. Okay, so don't just clean everything. We want to hide few pixels of it, but you want some of the blues showing. Very good. Okay, so let's scroll down to the image that we grouped together. Okay, the bigger image. So let's drop the group like this. You can toggle to see if that's the layer, and then select the mask. All right, and let's hide this point right here. Stop, don't worry about my screen lagging. All right, so I was just having a few crashes lately, so that's what will happen, but it's nothing. You also wouldn't be like that because you have a very powerful machine. So that's why you need to subscribe to this channel to support, so that we have good gadgets. Good. All right, so that was just by the way. Let's select the black and white layer in the group, and then create a new layer on top of that, and then let's go and pick a color from the blues. Okay, you can pick any color from the blues, but make sure it's closer to the shades. And then let's add some blue lights over here. So you just watch and you do it. Okay, just tap on here. You have some blue lights showing up over there, not that too much. Okay, so you're good. I hope you didn't see that, but it's there. Okay, it's a blue lights. So let's scroll to the top and select the second layer of the stadium image, and then let's go into the images folder and let's bring this tower. Okay, it's in Paris. All right, I know you know it. Okay, so I was just saying it. Good. All right, let's click OK from there, and let's go and add layer mask. We won't waste any time on this. We just add layer mask, and then we just clean the bottom part. Okay, it's sharp, so we just need to make it smooth. Okay, lower the flow, and then you can clean the bottom part. You just don't want to clean the shadows, all the shadows. You just want to leave some portion. So if you clean all of them, we just switch from background or foreground black to white, and then you just bring some shadows over. Okay, so after that, the next thing that we are going to do is very critical, so kindly pay close attention. All right, so let's go into the images folder and drag in this image. All right, so I'll place it here and then resize it. Very good. Click OK from the top, and let's go and drag this layer to the top of the color balance, because the color balance is making this image blue. So let's drag it to the top. Good. Let's add a new layer below it. Grab the brush, right click for this brush menu, squeeze it down like this, and then use a flow closer to 100, and then let's add shadows below the feet. And with the ball, it has grass, so don't add shadows below the grass, else it will make it look like it's floating. Okay, so just squeeze it down a little and then just click, but make sure it doesn't come below the grass. All right, and with the right foot, we are just going to add a very soft tiny shadow. Okay, because it's in the air a bit. Good, and we're good. Now here is the case. Duplicate this layer or drag it to the plus icon. Right click and then rasterize this image or layer. Control T for the free transform. Rotate it and make it look like this as you're seeing. And the reason why we are doing this is because we are going to tap every color that he's wearing. Okay, and we are going to do that with the color marquee tool. So let's go for the color marquee tool in the same group with the elliptical marquee tool. So select the last two. Now we need to make sure that when we click, the color marquee tool will pass through all the colors that we see. I mean the black hair, his skin color, the green boots, the white, and those blue and red lines here. Okay, so you can zoom in and make sure that when you click, it passes through the red and the blue and the rest of the colors. So as you can see, it doesn't pass through the red, so I'll just undo that and then click in the reds. Now if I zoom out, you can see that the line or the selection is passing through the whole image vertically, okay, picking every color. Good. Now here is what we are going to do with the selection. So just click Ctrl J to duplicate. Okay, now to see what we just did, just select the layer below and then add a solid color, let's say black or a dark solid color. And now you can see what we just copied, a very thin line, okay, picking every color. So I'll just delete this fill and then the image that we duplicated, and I'll select the layer that we just copied. Okay, Ctrl T for the transform and then drag to the right, but make sure you hold shift. Okay, nothing is showing, but as soon as I click OK, this pops. Yours wouldn't be like that. Now here is the reason why we needed the straight line or the selection to pass through every color, because we are going to match it. So you see the top black, we just need to match it to the hair, and then those brown areas goes to the skin, and then the green shoes goes to the green. Okay, so just squeeze it up like this using the transform, Ctrl T, and then you just squeeze it down. So I will make sure that the black on top goes through the hair, just like this. Okay, and with the transform to selection in place, I'm just going to right click and then select warp. Now I have these nodes, and then I can drag it and then place it directly to the hair. And then I'll just squeeze things down like this. You can go ahead and do that. Now select the layer of the player, okay, the image. Click on it, select the layer. This is it. Control and then click on the mask area to make a selection around the player. Now let's go back and select the trail layer, and then let's click layer mask. But you can see the parts that we want got disappeared. We don't want that, so let's undo that, and let's go to selection, inverse. Now we've rotated it. If we click layer mask, this time it goes around the player. Okay, so let's grab the brush tool and then clean the excess that we don't want. So right click and then switch it back to its original shape, and then let's clean these areas of the trail, because we don't want that. We just want it to hit. You can see why it's hitting. I don't know how to explain that to you. Okay, so we are just cleaning these areas so that it's only affects the left side. Good. Now let's clean the far end to the right. Okay, make sure you lower the flow and then you just clean. I'm just going to do this very quick because this is very easy to do. Okay, so after this we need to duplicate the layer, so drag it or Ctrl J. Let's change the blend mode to dissolve so that the ending part will be like particles dissolving into the empty space. But let's grab the brush and select the mask, and then let's clean the particles that's closer to the player. Okay, we just want it at the end of the trail. Okay, so that's very good. All right, so let's get to 100k subscribers. We haven't gotten even 3, but it's cool. Let's drag this image right here. We are not going to do too much with this image. We are just going to leave him on the wilderness. So place him right here, and let's drag its layer below the color balance so that it adds more blue, so that its color will pop. Okay, so as you can see, when I place it, you can see that color comes out, and you can toggle the visibility of the color balance so that you know how the color was and how it is now. Okay, now you can create a new layer just below the image. Okay, so just grab your soft round brush that we've squeezed down, and then let's add a shadow under his feet. So I'm just going to open that up a little, and then boom. We are not doing too much with this image because it blends, or it makes the whole composition perfect without doing too much. Okay, and I'm going to add a general shadow. I just needed that. Okay, so I'm just going to lower the flow. I don't need a very sharp shadow, so this is cool. So now let's go down and then create a new layer below the whole image but on top of the background. Okay, so this is the group of the bigger image, so create a new layer below it, and then let's grab the I have this smoke brush. Okay, I use it as clouds because it's cool. I will leave the link in the description, just check it out. Okay, so I will take a very dark tone, make sure you rotate the angle so that you get it like this. Then I'll be adding clouds. Okay, very quick. All right, so with that, I'll still create a new layer at the very top and then grab this brush, but I'll rotate it at 90, or let's say 0. I'll just make it horizontal like this. Okay, I'll decrease the size, but this time I will use white color and then flow to 100, and then I'll click here and then come and click here so that we have this. Very good. So I'll come down, and on top of the color balance, I'll select the color balance and then go and bring this glow light, place it. Let me increase the size a little. Okay, and then I'll go and change the blend mode to linear dodge so that we have a very nice effect like this. Then I'll go back into my images folder, bring these birds I'll squeeze them down, add a layer mask. Let me bring them on top, but I'll add layer mask, and then I'll just sweep those that I don't want off the scene. Okay, so just go ahead and add a layer mask. Grab, you can use this brush or soft round brush because we don't need it for any. We just need to clean these guys off. We don't want them, they are too many, and we have the V shape of the birds. Okay, so I will leave those there, and now we have this group. If I go ahead and turn on the visibility, you have the sample support things, just text that you can do it. That's why I didn't include it in this video. Okay, so you have Portugal and France coming up this Friday, 5th July 2024. So I've used Mbappe for France. You can also use Portugal. All right, and also make sure to register my masterclass at a small fee, and let's learn Photoshop the right way. Thanks for watching. Kindly subscribe, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, click the bell. I have a rain effect coming up your way the next video, and I'm out. Peace.